Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season finale watch party for The Lord of The Rings of Power. And again, thank you for everyone who was staying up that late to watch it with us. Yes, hello to everyone in chat. Morning, David. Hello, Chris, Breezy. Yeah, P says he's nervous. We all are feeling lots of emotions right now. But firstly, there's going to be more people joining us, hopefully, throughout, but we do have a lovely panel here so far, and we'll start all the way to my left with Negroni. Hello, my friend, how are you?
I'm great. I'm nervous as that person in the chat.
Yeah,
I hope everyone is doing well and everyone is excited as me.
yep, indeed, indeed. And as David says in chat, yes, to the brave Brits out there awake at this time. But Hen, to you too as well, my friend. How are you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah, fair
Tired
enough.
seems to sums it up.
Yep.
Oh, good. I'm making grammar mistakes, of course.
You're forgiven.
And yeah, you are forgiven, my friend. And finally, to my right, we have the man himself, Kyle. Hello.
Hey, glad to be here.
How are you feeling going into
I'm
this?
I think a mixture of what everyone else has said so far. This episode's going to be what ultimately determines how I rate this show overall, and I'm anxious and excited.
In chat, as Kyle said, put one word how you're feeling currently at the moment. Anxious, excited. Let us know. Negroni, one word. What would you say for you how you're feeling right now?
Let's be hopeful. So hopeful.
Good hope. First, you have to touch the darkness in order to find the light. Hopefulness. Important. Hen, you? And don't say
Hmm?
tired. Your one word can't be tired.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
upcoming thingy. Uh,
Excellent.
trepidatious maybe. I don't know. Like, yeah, excited, I suppose.
Excited, yes. Of course, we probably won't show our excitement as much because it is quite late, but I promise we are all excited.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
as the Power Chief says, stoked, excited from David. Luz says, hello there, hello. And then Jonathan says, can't wait for Brimby to say, quote, here is my sexy new friend, Anita. Is this where, look, Rings of Power, we find out 5 years ago, actually 3 to 4 years ago, this is a second age show. One of the biggest stories we want to know about is Anatar and the rings. The show's called The Rings of Power. Do you think, Carl, we will start to get to a potential point where we're going to start, like maybe even just a little touch point, we're about to get into that story to see the things I've always wanted to see?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it sounded from the beginning like the showrunners were planning to do a world building season with season one, and I think so far that is what they've accomplished. I absolutely hope that we get a proper Anatar storyline. Starting in season two, that would be wonderful to see. You're muted.
Yeah, Harry, you're muted.
Sorry, done that again. So I was gonna say, Hen, do you think at the same time it is important now that this show does end on a strong note? Do you think that's key for this show to either
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
considered
That's very.
success or not?
Yes, it's very important that it should end on a strong note, and not just on a strong note. It should end. It should feel. I'm very skeptical that it would, but we will see. It should feel like a culmination of everything that we've seen, rather than a payoff to just one of the storylines in isolation.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And do you think, Negroni, that joint payoff could potentially be whatever Celebrimble's forging or whatever's happening? Guys, we haven't talked about it. The title for episode 8 is Alloyed. Any
Yeah,
thoughts on
I
that?
think the title gives it away that I think that's be the main plot line. And I think it's going to be between that and the stranger. And I feel like the Isildur stuff that like missing will be like our connection to the Numenorian probably. Like there'll be some drama on what he's up to.
Yeah, agreed. And even David says in chat as well, he agrees the stranger and the mystic stuff seems to be an important part of this episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
exciting. Not so average Joe said he's pumped. Surly Ajith said he's excited. So it looks like we are getting into something. And
I
before
have
the
a question. Do we
go
know
for it.
the length of the episode?
Not 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, not
So we can
yeah,
get.
not like some monstrosity.
Okay.
I don't think he. I think it will be maybe a bit longer than usual, but I don't think it'll be too long. I know there are rumors going around for extended run length, but I don't think that was ever going to be the case.
I think the Wheel of Time season finale was something like 10 or 15 minutes longer
Yeah.
than the normal episodes, so probably
Mm.
something along those lines.
Yep. Also, Kyle, someone in chat, Pranye says, how much time is left? Do you want to answer that
Yeah, how much
question
time is left?
for Hen as
Well,
well?
it depends. Depends on when they end up dropping the episode
Yes.
because they tend to drop it 20 to 30 minutes early. But
Mm.
52 minutes is when the episode is scheduled to drop. So coming up quick.
But what Amazon do whenever the NFL, whoever's watching NFL right now, maybe in the chat, once your game finishes, once ever someone gets that touchdown, woo, then yeah, we can get into Rings of Power time.
Go
So
sports.
go sports,
Go
yes.
sports.
Go sports.
Uh,
So,
Go
okay.
sports.
But up to that point, we have prepared some fun little polls and stuff for you guys. So, Carl, could we potentially switch
I
over
thought
to
they were pills.
pills? Yes, I did accidentally said we prepared some pills for today earlier. I meant polls. So, first one, Carl, if we could get that up,
Yeah, and
please.
this one's going to be a two-part poll. So
Yeah,
we'll put the first option up first and then the second option up second if you want to explain what those are going to be.
yeah. So we're going to the first poll is going to be which episode have you found the best so far? And it's going to go 1 to 4. Then we're going to have a second poll that goes 5 to 7. If, for example, 5 is your favorite, don't vote on the first poll because you'll have the second poll to vote. So I think we should be getting that up now. So vote for which episode. We'll leave this up about 2 minutes. We're going to start voting away. And while we do that, Negroni, was any of these 1 to 4 episodes one of your favorites or not?
I I think the second one, mainly because I haven't seen the episodes in the last few days. I didn't get to do that, but I really love the scene with the orc and when it felt like a horror movie kind of, and it was a distinctive moment enough for me to remember it and for me to go like that was an iconic like cool moment from this show, like that it isn't borrowing from the lore or like a unique take. So I kind
Yeah.
of like the second episode for that little scene.
I was always thought as well that out of the first 2 premiere episodes, episode 2 was stronger. And hen to you, someone who has, I think you've done a whole rewatch. I
I
think you the
have,
best.
yes. I decided that it would be prudent
Oh,
not to rewatch.
sorry to interrupt you for a second, but Valkina said the NFL game has just ended. Usually within the next 20 minutes, the
Wunderbar.
episode is up. So yeah, that's the update. So episode will be dropping within the next 20 minutes. But hen, back
Yeah,
to you, my
but
friend.
I did do a rewatch because I thought it would be prudent to rewatch all that has come to this point before the final episode drops, rather than what I think a lot of people are doing, which is after. Because then you can really watch the last episode with everything that has come to pass really fresh in your mind. Um, and yeah, my opinion is the same as it was before. These things sometimes change, but they haven't in this case. And that is that the third episode is by far the strongest, the most sure-handed, without, a lot of contrivances in the writing, particularly nothing stupid, particularly a
Yeah,
little bit of like
that comes.
Galadriel being, but otherwise like fine.
Mm-hmm. And Kyle, should we get up the second poll now? Because so
Let's do that.
far, first 45% said episode 4, interestingly, 27% said episode 1, and 18% agreed with Hen and said episode 3. So we'll get the second poll up. We'll leave that up for about a minute. And I think for me, mine's between episode, I'd say 3 and one. I still have a feeling for episode one. I think just because of the music and how it just felt, it just something different compared to the rest. I like that. But episode, I agree with Hen as well. Episode three really was strong. Playing that introduction to Numenor was
Yeah.
great as well. And Kyle, whilst we get the next poll up, your opinion on your favorite episode so far?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what everyone has said so far. I'm gonna have a hard time picking a favorite until I've seen the season in its entirety.
Mm.
But I'll say for me, episode 4 really stood out because of all the lore that was kind of weaved in and out of it. I thought that was kind of beautifully done, and yeah, that stood out to me for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And I think just for time reasons, should we just finish that poll now?
Oh, it's done.
As it's done, yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like episode 6 seemed to be, yep. And as Volk
Mm.
says, yes, 4 was the best, had lots of dwarves in him. But now, who's in the background? Hen,
Who is that?
who is in the background?
Our background
Yes.
would be 1 second Dark Lord.
Yes,
I
the
believe
Dark Lord.
I believe Sauron is no, it's Sauron,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right? Yeah, that's what it is.
Sauron, my lord,
Sauron.
like Wardreg, how he says it. But next, who is Sauron? Going into this final episode, is this Negroni one of the things that you want answered the most with this episode?
Yes, mainly because from a storytelling point of view, if we don't get anything, it would be kind of disappointing to have to wait 1-2 years to get that answer. And I feel like the show has been like on purpose making us think way Sauron. So if they have another year of us thinking that, it would be too much, too tiring. So I think it's kind of necessary to give an answer, perhaps like kind of secretively, but give us one.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think we cannot wait. So the poll options, which think how is that out now?
Mm-hmm.
The poll. So it is Hellbrand, Me Too Man, Poppy. I made that one was a bit and then other. So Hen, Me Too Man, or Hellbrand seems to be the two main
As
options.
of yet, Halbrand.
That's fair. That's fair. Because I think I know you're still in Camp Gandalf for Me Too Man, aren't you?
I am, and I also not entirely 100% sure that I'm in the Halbrand Sauron camp, but I
That's
do
fair.
like, yeah, but I mean, it's not Meteor Man.
That's fair.
The sweet young wide-eyed youth character is not gonna have been portrayed as finding and nurturing the Dark Lord back to health. That's much too twisted for this show.
Yeah, that's fair. And Mr. Clean in chat
Beric,
says,
though,
yes, Beric. That'd be quite an interesting choice.
Beric is Sauron. That is for sure.
He's Mr. Clean is a background character. Do you think out of nowhere, last minute, a background character, someone in the group that Mud Dino might see? Is there a little hope that can still
I
be the
think
case?
that could be really cool. It could be a really cool, fun reveal. But for me, they've put so much thought and effort into Halbrand's backstory that I don't see them wasting that. So that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. I think I agree. Unless that payoff for Halbrand's arc will end up
That
with a
could be.
different. But I agree. I'm in that camp too. So I think should we end that poll now? We'll see the results. Could you read out the results if possible, please?
So, who is Sauron? With 0%, we have Meteor Man.
Wow.
With 9%, we have Poppy, and then we have a tie with Halbrand and Other at 45% each.
Wow.
It
Oh,
probably
will it
should've
be?
said
Will
other.
it be? Will it be Anton Boone as last
That's
minute?
fun.
It won't be. It won't be Anton Boone. I'll say that now. For some people who still think it could be. Yes.
Yeah, I
As
don't
Hen
think
says,
that's a thing anymore.
I'm still Team Cowan. So I
No,
think.
no, Beric. Beric is Sauron. Come on, it's so obvious. Beric.
Oh, Varking says Wardreg is Sauron. He's getting up. Fair enough.
Ah,
But
yeah.
favorite character. Actually, no. Next one. let's move on to him then. Meteor Man got 0% on the last vote, so hopefully he gets more here. Who is Meteor Man? Gandalf is option A, Blue Wizard's option B, Balrog
Wow.
option C, D is other. So, yeah, I think, Carl, I'll just start off with you. Where are you feeling with this Meteor Man?
Um, I mean, I think the thing that makes the most sense is Gandalf in terms of who
Yes.
they're marketing this show toward. I have some I don't know, some issues with that. I guess he seems to be taking on the Harfoot's accent as he's learning to speak. So I do wonder if they're trying to differentiate this character from Gandalf by doing it that way. I would personally love to see a blue wizard. That's one of the things I was really looking forward to seeing in this show. But I think my issue is if they're teasing Gandalf, and casual audiences certainly believe this is Gandalf. I've had people in my own life come to me and ask me that. And then it ends up not being Gandalf. I see them being disappointed. So I don't
Yes.
know if that's a super wise move to fake out Gandalf. So we'll see.
It's a
Yes.
double-edged sword, is the
Yeah,
word, is it not?
yeah.
Yeah. And some, yeah, Suryajit says Tom Bombadil. Could be, sorry
Many
for the
people
cough
don't
there.
know Tom Bombadil, so it's like,
Yeah.
It's a bit
No,
obscure.
too obscure. Yeah.
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 but let a man
Absolutely.
dream. Let a man dream.
Let him know.
But I
I
think,
guess
yeah,
just with all of these things, we need to separate who we hope it would be, who we wish it would have been, and who we think it actually is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I liked when you said that on the Discord chat. That's very true.
I'm, for who I think it would be, my head is saying Blue Wizard. So that is where I'm at the minute.
I really loved the theory that there were multiple meteors, whether that was two meteors or where we had seen the shots
Oh,
of the five different shots of the meteor going across the sky, that it would represent the five Istari. That would have been cool. I don't know.
but what
Yeah,
happens
I
if we
don't.
see another meteor drop in this episode?
Come on, you
Imagine
want to
that.
do that
Imagine
again?
the episode ends
Yeah,
on a meteor crash landing. Imagine
yeah.
that.
Imagine the
Where is
cyclone
your
back.
housekeeper?
Oh, geez, yeah. No.
Would be the second Blue Wizard
Yes,
if you saw a second one.
that's a
That would be cool.
possibility.
I would love to see them do that and have one of them turn out to be good and one turn out to do a Saruman
Ooh.
kind of thing, and that way they could explore both of those ideas that Tolkien had written about. So I would love to see that at some point, whether it's with this storyline or in a future season. I'd love to see that happen.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. So, I think I think even Wicked Eye Studio says in chat, Halbrand is either the Witch King or the Oathbreaker King.
I
We're
think
going to
that's
find
possible.
out.
Yes.
Hopefully, hopefully we are going to find out. So, so Mr. Clean says, going off the books, all the elves don't trust Anatar save Celebrimbor. So how could Galadriel trust Halbrand if she tells him her dark past? Maybe it depends how they're adapting this story. I think we cannot just. I think what this show has made clear is that they are taking some. I think some fair takes on what how the second age story has worked out. So I wouldn't put anything out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
As
which
well.
probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, it looks like I've got a few digital marketing agencies here. Icarus digital marketing agency, Halbrand is sour 100%. The producers gave so many hints in New that is fair. I think yeah, we did get a few hints. The first time we walked past that forge was one that that my past. You don't know my past. That was worst. I apologize, Charlie, because that was such a bad
It's
accent.
pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad.
Yes, but the
If
past is
Halbrand isn't Sauron, they've gone to great lengths to put little Easter eggs in here and there to make us believe he is. So
we all got Tom fooled. So that would be an option.
it would
So
be.
I think the next one, the last one, I think should we end this poll now? Let's see. We're talking about Meteor Man, weren't we? Okay, yeah. Gandalf won with Gandalf and Blue Wizard both 41%.
Look at that. Should we end it there?
Second time we end it there.
2 ties. Wow, we've got some questions to answer this evening, I think.
Yes, hopefully. Patrick McKay on Twitter did say that we might not, so I do hope we do get most all the answers.
I'm
So,
sure there will be things left
yeah,
open for
left.
season 2, but yeah, we
I
need
just
to
hope
wrap some things up for sure.
yes, I want to meet you, man. I think. Oh, and
Yeah.
Edison's I think's put the line.
If the episode ends again with that bloody Sauron cadence,
Mm,
so help me, like
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
ba 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 ba.
Yeah,
Urgh.
I don't know.
Mhm.
We
But
should also hear Fiona Apple's.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that will be fun.
yeah.
see the fact that
I'm
they made
excited
her,
for that.
Yeah,
the fact that they made her do a song, and maybe is it confirmed to be the end credits or during the episode?
my understanding is it's the end credits song, but
Then I was
Probably,
thinking,
yeah.
when something like that happens and the music like that plays, it just feels like something's like big and like almost evil. It's hard to explain, but like
Mm,
it's. I don't think like something great is like amazing. Then a nice song plays. I don't think that's how they're going to end it. I think something like either a statement thing's going to happen or something that's not that
mhm.
good is going to happen.
Yeah, and Fiona Apple's music, it's kind of like that. It has that punch. So I'm very excited for her take on music in this related to this universe.
Yeah, I agree.
Very excited.
Icarus says, I'm hoping for faster pace. This episode, the last one was a bit boring. I think we will get a faster pace in this
Ah,
episode.
yes.
I was part of the camp who did not really like last episode. I thought it was a bit slow. So I understand that sentiment. But I do think this episode seems like it is. I think we already seen the clip. So, oh yeah, Beric's Apple, Stranger's Apple, Fiona Apple. I wonder if anyone leaked a photo of her. We shall.
Don't know anything about that.
Don't know anything about that. Wow. It's crazy that it just leaks again. We started off just leaking and now look. It's
Look at us
crazy.
now. Who would have
Yeah.
thought?
Who would have thought?
We
Not
started
me.
licking. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Dear God, okay. Hen needs to go back to bed, I think.
It's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, back to bed.
The
Oh, yeah,
sun is
talking
just
then.
coming up.
Episode 7 did feel like an intermission before the big finale for sure. I
Yeah,
personally enjoyed episode 7.
Mhm.
And one thing I've found with this show is every single episode consistently, it gets better on a second viewing. 1 and 2 were special for me because I got to see them in theater, so that was a lot of fun. But consistently, every time I go back to rewatch, I'm able to process a lot more. I'm really enjoying that.
And Hen, is that you saying in chat it's a cinematic coma?
No, comma. It's a cinematic
Comma,
comma.
okay.
That's the term that a friend of mine used for actually Deathly Hallows Part 1, which I like, because it's just the build-up for the finale. That was the function of the last episode. There's nothing wrong with that conceptually. It's just on second viewing, because I watched them all in sequence, there's this kind of build-up of anticipation from episode to episode when you watch them back to back.
Yeah.
So when you do it like that, you really feel like, oh wow, we're really slowing back down. And first time around and the second time around, not such a problem, but the third time around, in the context of everything that had come immediately before, in that case, like, ugh.
I just want to say really quickly, I see Corey Castle in the chat. You were our winner last week, and we would love for you to reach out to us so we can get your contact information and get you your prize sent off to you. So please give us a shout, and we'll get that all set up.
And while we do that, should we quickly get onto the last poll, Mr. Kyle?
Yes, let's do that.
And while we do that, I'll quickly explain how tonight's handlings will work. So we're going to be live throughout the episode. We're going to be muted. Whether you want to stay with us and see our live reactions, which will be muted, of course. Hen, remember, it's going to be muted. Or you just want to, watch the episode yourself, come back to us after. But the moment the episode's finished, we will still be live. We'll discuss it. We'll give us our raw reactions, initial reactions to it. It'll probably be lots of like gasping, stuff like that, Yes, Negroni's got it.
There you go.
The thumbnail of the video.
Yeah.
If you want
with a red circle and an arrow.
Exactly. If you want some fun, watch Negroni's camera, and That'll be.
And
that'll be fun.
if you want to fall asleep, you can watch Hens because he's doing it himself already.
That's right. We'll also have a little timer on screen so that you can,
That's
follow
when you
along at the same
put
point
Siegfried on.
as we're at. So
Yeah. So meanwhile, so we have got a subjective poll. So I chose these 4 characters. So again, quite subjective. And favorite character so far: Elrond, Durin the Third, Elendil, Adar. And I know Valking's in chat right now, and Durin the Third is 39%. Whew. I think he is. I think I rewatched episode 7 and he was up there. But for you, Negroni, favorite character so far?
Between those 4, I think I would
Or in general,
say,
in general, in
in
general.
general, I think Nori stole my heart. I didn't expect to like any of the Harfoot plot. I was like, before it, I don't want any of this. But watching the show, she won me over. And also, I'm pretty excited to see if they develop the Dweller more because I love her look. I hope it's not just like magic face.
Indeed. And Hen, do you think a little Nori is possessed by a dweller?
Nori in this last episode, she's either
Yes.
possessed by the Dweller, or I think more likely just because of the setup that the Dweller takes on a form shortly in order to get Meteor Man close or something, which is like, ugh, both options are not really my favorite. This kind of magic is not something that I like. It's very manifest, you know.
I kind of agree. I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that's handled, but I do agree. I hope it's not weird,
Yeah.
as you would
And
say.
interestingly, Janelle in chat says Theo. That's the first time I've ever seen someone say Theo for favorite character. I'm not saying it's wrong with it. I think it's nice seeing that for the first time. Also, looks like we have a Strider here. Is your mic on, my friend? If not, I think we'll have to give him a minute.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people are saying Elendil as well. I'm not sure. I don't even mean to say that. Okay, don't think episode 2. Yeah, Jared says Gonzalez. I know who Gonzalez is. And hey guys, don't end the episode. Simply released like 20 minutes early. Yeah, it should be releasing any minute now. So excitement.
Is anyone checking on that?
I'm lo-
So
I'm making sure to
I
keep
was
up with that.
already, you should know by now, this man is always on it. So,
That's what I'm here for.
mhm. So again, explaining it, we'll be watching it live. And joining us watching it live will be that man in the corner as well, Mr. Strider. Hello.
Hello,
Morning,
guys.
Strider.
Good morning.
Good morning.
good
Who do we
morning.
have here?
I would say I don't know good, but certainly morning.
Yes. It was a
Yeah, one
morning
of
to be
those
with
three.
on.
Yeah,
It's good.
one
It's
of
good.
those 3 mornings at least.
So we're doing this one word how you are feeling right now.
Um, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's a good one.
Okay.
3 words.
Episode is not 2 hours long. I've seen that quite a bit in chat. And Andrew
Yeah,
asked,
it's
will you?
probably not going to be some monstrosity that keeps us awake for such a long
Oh,
time.
1 hour and 16 minutes is what Chris Breezy has said in chat.
I would say that's probably pretty
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah,
interesting.
and with credits and stuff, that's roughly the
Yeah.
length of the other episodes.
And
That's
isn't Negroni an alcoholic beverage? I went to a bar yesterday. Negroni, you want to answer this one?
Yes, it is an alcoholic beverage. It's from Italy, and it's pretty
Episode is
popular
out.
right now because of House of the Dragon. It has become a viral thing nowadays, so it's a good moment to try it if you haven't.
So the episode is now out. I'm going to
Oh, what?
everyone please get it all set up. Can you also make sure you're skipping the intro and the little recap, and we can all be on the same page?
Yeah, and
Um,
also remember that sometimes it takes more time to in some countries.
yes. So we'll make sure everyone has it.
yeah, I have it, but just a
Okay.
minute.
I got it.
I'm actually keen to look through the recap just because it's
Oh yeah, I have it too.
Okay.
So
So we skip recap and intro.
Yeah, so it'll start at about 1 minute and 32 seconds. I'm gonna start the
I'm
timer so
going
that we can get it
to.
up there.
I'm using my friend's TV, so I'm going to let the whole thing go through, and then I'll pause it when I get to the point.
Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. So you can all let me know when you're good. If everyone in the chat can get theirs ready too, I'm gonna start in about a minute. The episode itself starts at the 1 minute and 32 second mark after the recap and title sequence. So we can get it going. 1 minute from now.
Okay, the one thing I like is the recap starts with the fact that Adar killed Sauron. So hopefully Sauron reveal or something.
Yeah,
gonna be
the
here.
things that they choose to put in the recap
Yeah.
can be very revealing
Yeah.
for the
Yes.
episode itself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm watching it partially. Ah,
30 seconds.
Because
okay, I'm done with the recap.
Okay. Did you
What
skip
the
it?
hell? No
Did you
opening
skip-
credits.
What?
Oh, okay, good point.
They're not great.
Oh.
No opening credits. Nope.
No.
Yeah, but
Sir. Shame.
maybe they are later.
Maybe.
Maybe, but I'm not
Oh
seeing
yeah,
it.
probably.
If there are later,
So
should we
skip-
skip
yeah.
or?
No,
Skip
if they're
to
later,
1
we'll
minute
just run
31.
it through.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think we should. Skip to
Yeah.
1 minute 31.
Okay. I am at
Okay.
131.
Perfect. So I'm gonna put the timer up. Put that over
Oh my
here.
God.
Because
I'm ready.
I have a weird setup. I'm going to be basically very available to talk during the because I have to switch headphones.
I think talking will be minimal anyway. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
fine.
just to be clear. So
Alright.
somebody wave aggressively if we need to pause or something.
Yeah, no, there won't be any pausing.
We have a private chat rider, so anything we can also
Exactly.
talk
Yeah,
there.
true.
So, is everyone ready?
Mm.
I am. Is the public ready? Are they watching it with us?
I think they're already watching it, probably.
Yeah.
Harry, are you ready? Not hearing. Okay.
I
you
hope
good?
he's not muted. Harry.
Can you hear us? All right, I'm gonna count down from 5, and then we'll all hit play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wet.
Are we meeting?
Oh wow.
Perhaps he's Radagast.
It definitely feels that way a little bit. Uh-oh.
Shape shifting. Fun.
Very fun.
Lesser Maya.
Mm.
There's the cadence.
Ah, I see. Oh man.
Ah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, so the intro is here.
Yeah,
Okay,
look at
good.
that. Is this the first time they've done that?
No, the
Yeah,
first
I think
episode didn't have an intro then
Yeah.
again, so yeah, it's the first time they've done it like that. Not a bad tactic.
it's good to do that when the beginning of the episodes are strong, and I
Yeah.
think it's actually kind of the first time that we begin in such a scene. So well used.
Yeah, I agree. What do we all think of this title sequence now that we understand more about what it is?
I mean,
Um,
I don't know.
it's cool. It doesn't look too Lord of the Rings at times, but
It could
I
be
think
for
that's the main
anything.
issue. It looks very like random shapes besides the two trees or whatever. I hope they
It
develop it
doesn't
the
have the
next.
skip intro though, so it does have that function still, even though it's kind of in medias res.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jennifer Hutchinson, J.D. Payne, and Patrick McKay.
Oh, good.
Nice music.
They have arrived.
Stunning. My God.
Oh,
More stories.
Oh God.
Oh, good. Finally. That's more. 6 days ago. Okay,
Good to know.
I guess. Yeah.
this does feel quickly, quick.
Mm-hmm.
You can say something nice, Galadriel.
That's appropriate.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, good lord.
Here we go.
This isn't settled.
Yeah. It's the exact line he used when they got to Numenor.
The killer. Oh boy.
Hmm. Wow.
It's him.
It's
Yeah.
him, yeah. Oh boy.
Hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Precious metals. So let's combine them. Well, that is
Lot of gifts.
Hmm. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, there it is.
I
Oh
mean,
no.
it is,
Holy
yeah.
shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Galadriel bloody brought him through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
man.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
What the?
A trailer?
Hmm.
If the old ways of our people are not true.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
Mm. Oh,
Oh, come on. What setup is this?
it happened too fast. Hmm. Bilbo. Oh, there it is.
What?
Iglos.
Ah, right. Hmm. Sort of the Gwaifimir, I guess.
Oh, here we go again. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Oh, there's the forest. That's not how stars work. Mm.
Hmm.
Good, good.
Very good.
I see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A normie would be like, oh, Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
blades. Ah, more shapeshifting.
Oh, goddamn.
What?
Okay. Okay.
That would be the first Hobbit killed on screen, presumably. Ever, actually. More magic. Even more magic.
Is it Middle Earth without a wizard battle?
Yes, actually.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah. Ah, Hobbit not
Wait,
killed
what?
on screen, as it happens.
Like,
Even more magic. Of course.
the scene will be over soon, Hen, don't worry.
Man, the new Willow show is not living up to the hype.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. It's like when they first met.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing better happened to them. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not feeling. Yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna suck the fire in.
A wizard.
Definitely a wizard. But which one?
Hmm. Well, this is stunning. Oh.
It looks very nice.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What the hell?
Oh my god.
What the hell? Uh, uh?
All right.
He's the other.
I don't hate that.
I uh, uh,
I think that's okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much.
that does tell us something about the main characters, though. The 23 major characters, they don't necessarily have to survive a season
Mm-hmm.
to be that. Oh, that's very nice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's very nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's very nice.
Very good.
Uh, that's a good reveal and
Hmm.
what they're building to.
Hmm.
Black sails.
Mm.
Good, good, very good.
Menacing.
Is it menacing? I'm not sure that that's the idea.
It feels that way. Hmm.
And that's when unseen world.
Which ring got made first in lore?
Which ring?
Do we know?
I don't think there's an answer. Oh, throw down the gauntlet.
That's how you do a lie in a movie, by the way, as compared to the mithril thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh.
Why would he tell her?
Many names. Oh wow.
Wow, that's hokey.
A little bit.
Let's see.
Let's
Let's
go
see.
back though. This is good.
Let's see.
Hmm. Oh.
Oh, what did you think? Oh, you thought it was a Hellbrand.
I think it is. Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's our. It's. You know.
It's deception.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
I bought it.
Hmm. Oh wow.
Our future, oh boy.
Oh.
Okay. Looking into the camera again.
Hmm.
It's Elrond.
Hmm. Oh. Mm.
I,
I wasn't expecting this
I mean,
video.
we talked about a lot of these things as possibilities, but
Mm. Uh.
Ah, the dagger.
No
Oh,
one
boy.
predicted that before the season began, right?
What?
The dagger becoming the
No.
ring.
Hmm.
At least we're going to Rune next season. That
Yeah, this
sounds
is great.
interesting.
This is great news.
Yeah. Oh no, now we took normal. Okay.
He found himself.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Hmm. Hmm. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Oh boy.
That was funny.
Oh God.
I know what's, you know.
Hmm.
And Poppy, I think.
Hmm.
I like this farewell though.
It's very good.
Yeah, that's probably the better part of the episode. This it's very good.
Mm.
Oh, wow, we had that shot a while back, and it's one of the last shots in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very near the end.
Oh.
Callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very.
I think we're about to have another one too.
Oh yes, that's a callback.
Uh,
When in doubt.
No, 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 no,
Shh.
no.
oh, uh,
N-
that hurt me.
yes. Oh boy.
No, it's a blue wizard. It's a blue wizard.
I could still
No,
be.
it could, but no,
Look at
no.
this. Look at this.
Yeah, it's nice and everything, and I like that we're going to Rune, I guess.
Yeah.
But
All right. Goodbye, Harfoots.
goodbye, dagger. It's more than just a dagger, really. The dagger is an emblem of, Finrod and her thirst for vengeance and things.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an
Oh wow! Look at
eye.
that.
So all three will be made of mithril?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
and
like
all
it.
three are made like right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Instead of Nenya being the only one.
Yeah.
yeah. So hey. Ah, yeah, you do it around. Let's see what Nenya looks like. That sounds like the Rivendell arpeggios.
Wow.
And Nenya looks different.
Does it?
They all do look
It's
different.
not Nenya from Naya looks quite close, but Nenya doesn't look like Nenya.
It's not far.
It's not far, no, but still.
Narya is close.
Naya is very, very close. All because Galadriel didn't read.
Hmm. That's stunning. Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for this. He's wearing like a sweatshirt hoodie or
Ooh.
something.
Of course he'll be wearing a hoodie. Haven't you seen Dark Lords and things?
Oh, I love
And
this.
it's done. It wasn't terribly long. An hour and 7 minutes minus the recap and the credits. Same length as everything.
Yeah, maybe like
I'm
a couple
listening to the
minutes.
song by Pineapple, by the way.
Yeah, stunning.
Yeah, we should probably. As
Oh, I like this. So it's the description.
line,
All
and
right.
we're done.
Well,
We are.
imagine that.
That was certainly a choice this episode.
Well, well, well. In the land of
Uh,
Mordor, where the shadows
Str-
lie.
Strider, how are you feeling right now?
I feel
Strider's not done yet.
Ah,
Yeah, I think he's
I
finishing up.
so do you think that's all that Anatar in a regional we're gonna get?
yes,
Yeah.
that's
That's a bit disappointing,
that
actually.
that
That's
I
my
get it.
hope.
I get why they
yes.
have to do it. They have to, it's a lot of story to
Mhm.
tell in 5 seasons. So if
No,
that's
yeah,
the
but
if that's the compromise they're making,
Hmm.
I get it. I understand it.
I understand the decision making behind it. I just don't,
Mhm.
I
It's
know what you're gonna say. Yeah, I know.
well, at least we got Sauron as a hooded and robed figure correct at some
Yeah,
point.
look at that. We got
Look at
that.
that. That's what I celebrated for the most.
Yes,
me,
Sith Lord Sauron. That's something
Yes.
we all been yearning for.
Look at that.
That guy, stick him in a
Hell,
cloak.
You know what? I
So,
have to say, we saw this coming. We kind of knew
Yeah.
this was gonna happen. I think the
Yes.
way it was done was gonna make or break it for me personally, and I have to say, I really liked a lot of this.
Same. I like it was. It could have been so much more worse, is what I'm
Yeah.
at
Could
right now. Like,
if it had turned out the way I pictured it in my head, it would not have been good. So, I'm glad it went the way it did.
yeah, and it's really interesting that Meteor Man thing as well. How that turns out. I think that's going to be a star. It'd be
I
interesting to see which
yeah.
one.
I had myself convinced that he was going to have an Irish accent. He was kind of starting to take that from learning from Poppy, and that would differentiate him from Gandalf. But once he
Yeah,
found his voice, it seemed he didn't have an Irish accent anymore.
and it just
Yeah.
that last bit, always follow your nose. It kind of
That was
reminds me of that
awful.
in Moria when
Kind of.
yeah
It's
Just
literally the
kind
same
of.
line.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not in
a
Moria
bit
in the book. I
too.
don't think. I don't think
Mm.
that's actually a book line at all. Following on, like,
I don't know if you're right about that.
it's a paraphrase on a book line, I think. But never
Yeah.
mind that. Never mind that.
Well,
I think there's footage of me here, like, face palming myself when that happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, not a fan.
No, same.
Which is a shame. The sequence itself was one of the better ones of the episode. And so to cap it with that,
Yeah, I think it's the most on the nose callback of the entire season, probably.
One of them for sure. It's
Yeah,
definitely up
it's
there.
high. It's high up there.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think first of all, I think we all knew Halbrand Sauron was coming. I think you had to probably not know your stuff to really think that wouldn't be the case. I
We were
think
maybe a little bit in denial if we didn't think that.
yes, I think it's mainly just being in denial. I think, but there he is, Halbrand, the Lord of Gifts.
I like that they
Darth
tied that
Hellbrand.
in a little bit where they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth Hellbrand, yeah.
My favorite part.
Good lord, look at them.
My favorite part of the episode is when he first was in the egg. In his first encounter with Celebrimbor, I thought was
Yeah,
nice. That
I
was a
agree.
highlight of the episode for me.
That was one of them for me too. I agree.
Yeah. That was is Strider still watching? Wow.
Strider, have you finished? Yeah, he's got it. He's still going at it.
Yeah.
Or
But
he's just
Negroni,
in a state of shock or something.
what's your initial reaction to episode 6?
I'm in a bit
8.
of shock. I must
Yeah.
admit, like, I need to watch this one again because I like some things and I'm very doubtful about other things. So I'm still processing it.
Mm-hmm.
But good
It's
feelings, I
crazy.
think, in the end.
And it's like I'm a bit in shock right now as well. It's like it's interesting how they've done that. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a part of me that is like I did like the episode, but there's other part of me I wish we got a bit more. If that's all this gonna be with ring making and Anatar, but Anatar in Eregion, and that's Mary down. But overall, I like the Harfoot's part of that as well. So, but yeah, it's a
Mm.
lot to take in at the minute. I think is the main thing. Where do you guys want to? Carl, could we go to that three oven rings? I think that's the main thing, isn't it? As well.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up Nenya, like the Weather Workshop Nenya,
It's pretty
just to.
close, Han. I gotta
It's
say.
it's close, but it's very much not the same.
That makes sense.
I
So
think
Yeah.
the forging also felt rushed because we were
Oh,
supposed to
it's
pair with
closer than I thought.
the spring thing,
Yeah.
like with the leaves. The leaves
Yeah.
is to like give us a motivation on why this is important, but the leaves felt very flat to most Tolkien fans. So I think the season definitely failed there.
I agree.
100%. Like no one cared about the we have to do this fast or something. So yeah.
it's it's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one, and um I think as says in chat, the Nori goodbye didn't need to be that long. That's one of the things I agreed on as well. Even though it was nice that sequence, it was a bit long, but
I
I
think it's
think
a tough balance to strike
yeah,
because that's the end of the Harfoots for this
yeah.
season. Well, I mean it's the end of the season, but that's the last time we saw the Harfoots for the whole season. So there has to be
You
some
know,
kind of
I
maybe
wouldn't
they
be
didn't strike the right balance, but
so. Talking about leaks, people have been asking Fellowship fans leaks for season two and whatever. Well, we had been preliminarily hearing that potentially we wouldn't see the Harfords as much as season two. And now looking at how the story's ended, do you think we just only see Nori with Meteor Man, and that maybe most of the Harfoot actually will get with them in Rune? Then we maybe come back to the rest of the
I think
Harfoot
it's a
tribe in
single.
season three.
Hen, you need to close your drapes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking about right now with that. But yeah,
I just hope that if they don't have enough material for season two, I hope they just skip them and we come back to them when Nori comes back to them as well. Because if they invent some dumb plot about them having to face, I don't know, some wolves or something, I hope they don't do anything like that.
I think they would though.
I don't know.
The
I have to
just the
admit, sorry, go ahead, Hen.
no, you get yours first.
I was just gonna say really quickly, we talked about it a little earlier, but I ended up enjoying the Harfoots in this show way more than I expected to going in, like Negroni said earlier. I wouldn't hate the idea that we skip them for the most part in the next season, and we introduce a new, some type of person character in Rune, and we get to see a little bit something different.
I get that. Just the fact that there's so many characters and there are many of them listed as major characters. Again, like we saw that they don't necessarily like Sadek died this season, but still, like this, like Largo is a major character. Uh, so is
ish.
no, I mean major character in terms of how they build them. Like it's a nothing role, but it's a very major character. It's a major. It's one of the 23 major
Yes, but when you
characters.
think of
So is
Harfords,
Marigold. No, you're
Mer-
right. It's a very small role, like much smaller than say Waldreg, who's still alive. But nevertheless, I feel like we'll also keep up with the Harford community and with Nori
I wouldn't be
and
surprised if we
now
just had a
doing their
season
thing.
we just didn't have the Harfords and just have Nori. I wouldn't be
Maybe
surprised.
like 1 or 2, 3 episodes kind of
Yeah,
thing.
also that
Yeah.
as well. We could catch up to them like later on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
because they also set up of Poppy, it's her name, becoming
Yeah.
like the leader of
Trail
the
finder or whatever.
Trailfinder.
Yes, so
Yeah,
the fact that they set up that, yeah,
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that they might have done that just for people to know that Harfords are coming back.
Yeah.
But but away from
what's going on
Harfords
in
from a
Strider
second.
Town?
Yeah.
Strider
Away from
Sorry.
we have, of course, the show is called Rings of Power, so I think we need to start off there again back on the screen. You can see them right there. well, people have talked about, oh, there's no Rings of Power in this Rings of Power show, and now it looks like in one episode they decided
are.
to just, yeah, this is the Rings of Power show. So,
Oh
um,
boy!
Lou says the shot of the
I
three
need a
rings is
drink.
very similar. Stanley says amazing season. Mr.
Hello there.
The,
There, you
hello.
made it.
Ah!
There we are. How'd you make out?
Ah!
Well, they definitely landed the finale. I loved it.
Yeah,
This was the first episode. I was 100% enjoying it.
me too. Yeah.
I think that Celebre, that Anita, because all we've been waiting for in this show is the downfall of Numenor and Anita or Halbrand meeting Eregion. And I think they did nail that first interaction. That's how I would have seen it playing out. But if we got it for longer, would have been, my only gist with it personally.
I don't know if it was just me, but to me, some of the Aragian stuff felt the most like Second Age
Exactly.
Middle Earth that
Thank you.
in this whole show.
Yes.
Mhm. It feels like the show it didn't focus on the elves that much because it was so focused on Galadriel. But like when you think of Second Age, like even those shots of Elrond just walking
Absolutely.
around,
Yes.
and that is the Second Age that we really want to see in the show. And the fact that they show it now shows that they can deliver that and to a good standard. But the fact that we wish we could see it more is an interesting thing. But they did nail that part personally, and I think oh yeah, 1 second, Charles Edwards.
Hmm.
Even though people gotten at him for his age and whatever, there's this and that, but it's kind of a mind how I thought. You see that arrogance, you see, he's built up, he's proud of his work, but also he's that little bit gullible and that vagueness. I think we really saw. So I want to say that's a special performance from him as well. And Weetabix says Eregion was the best, but was very rushed. I think that's where I'm at as well at the minute. Any other thoughts on Eregion?
I think that Calabrimor maybe isn't that gullible as much as he was.
Yeah, it's not gullible.
He's like, I think he's focused so much on what's ahead of him, on the
Naive.
goal, that he doesn't look too deep into what people can say to him from the side, because he's so focused on this. He's not going to think maybe twice of other stuff of which he would maybe usually think of twice.
I like that they showed it's almost like a desperation. There's a reason for why he acts the way he does.
Yeah, but I would love to have seen that in the rest of the season.
Yes.
Just this one episode.
Yes,
Like
I agree.
wanted one of my main interests coming to the season was I want to see Celebrimbor be like obsessed and like this maniac
Yes.
kind of about making the rings, and
Yeah, like
we only got
Faust.
that on.
This
one
should have
episode.
been a 10 episode season, and
Absolutely.
one of those episodes should have been in Eregion in the style that they did that episode of the Southlands where it focused on just the Southlands for the most part.
No, I think it should have been much more radical though. That I think you could have
At the very least, I'm saying, yeah.
themed an entire season around Celebrimbor being a Faustian figure and his ambition.
In 5 seasons, though, you think you can do that in 5 seasons?
Yes.
Really?
I think that's much more. I think that's much more important than
Okay.
95% of what
Okay.
happened this season.
I don't agree,
Certainly
but
much more
I get what you're
intriguing.
saying.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough time to.
It's
That's absolutely the problem. We've been talking about this for 4 weeks now. They need so much more time than what they set out for.
Yeah.
No way. I don't think they would be able to do that in the time span that they have planned.
No,
Well-
I don't think it was. I think when they were structuring it, they would say, "Well, it would be boring to do
Mhm.
it like that.
Yeah.
Well,
It would be
so it's
and it's like,
interesting. It's interesting to see that their 5-season plan that they go on about a lot ends with season 1 with the 3 elven rings.
It is interesting.
yeah,
Yes.
Will the
let's-
dwarven
But-
rings and all the other rings be made after or before will be an interesting
Mm.
thing
But,
to find out.
That's an interesting change to the lore that they were made first. I think they were made last, actually, like in
Yeah,
the books.
exactly.
On the other
Yes.
hand,
They-
it kind of makes they were, But it makes sense that they've done it this way because they had to show
because of the story.
rings. They had to show rings
Right.
here, and it couldn't have really been any of the other rings with the way they're doing Sauron and so
And
this
elves
makes
fading.
sense.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
But can you guys tell me what have you? I don't know when you start. Like, when did you start talking again? How late was I?
About
What did you
5
cover?
minutes, I think.
Just a few
Nothing
minutes.
much.
No
So
more
I
I
think
saw if I can say so, Sauron's photo.
yeah.
So what have you been talking about that?
So that's actually what I want to get to now. Carl, could you quickly go to the part where Halbrand just becomes Sauron, his face changes in
On the
the
raft?
moment?
That was fantastic.
Yeah, I think either that
Was it?
part, or actually, okay, Henry, a second. Or actually, when he's talking to Galadriel before the dream sequence happens, that
Okay.
final part. So that final inkling where he just gives up being Halbrand. Yeah, there, just about there. That final
Yeah,
shot.
what it did with the lights
Look
and
at it.
so
Yeah,
on.
look at that
It was
face.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep, I told you I found it on a dead man. So, what do you guys think of the Sauron reveal? I'll start off from left to right. So I'll start off with Strider.
No, start with somebody else. I need
Negroni?
to think about it for a second.
It was obvious since he came into a region and then he first seen after like getting out of bed instantly into Celebrimbor's thing. So
Yeah.
felt like I hope that no a movie nerd of PJ Peter Jackson movies like enjoys this moment more
Yeah.
because us knowing from the beginning it's obvious when it's
Yeah.
coming, so
Mhm.
hopefully
I
it
think
works better for them.
Mhm.
episode 3, when we see him walk past that forge, even in the raft, the first lines, I forgot the first line.
Mhm.
Strange
Looks can be deceiving.
looks
Can be deceiving.
It's all on the nose. I think it'd be interesting to see the general reaction to this Sauron reveal. But the choice of doing it in a sort of dream hazy like sequence, even using Finrod,
Mm.
I think I'm 50-50 on that. I'd like to hear what you guys think.
I would just say I Sauron the deceiver, not Sauron the delusion maker kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I didn't love that, but I get what it accomplished what it was meant to accomplish, I think.
Yeah, but he is known, at least in one really important occasion, to have done something like that. Gorlim, I think was his name, one of
Yes.
Baron's
Golim the
company.
Hapless.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he did create an illusion to trick. He actually, I think he specifically pretended to be Gorlim's wife.
Yeah.
So, or yeah, at least he created the vision
No,
of Gorlim's wife.
he
yeah.
created a
But
vision of rainbow curse. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's how I had it in my head, that he would pretend he was his wife and then just show up as Sauron, and then
Yeah.
like
To
that's
me,
how I imagined it. But
this
yeah.
felt a step further than that. This didn't feel like an illusion. This felt
True,
like
true.
you know what I mean? It just felt a little
Yeah.
too far for me personally.
Yeah, it was. I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
I get
I'm
what
not
you're
a
saying.
huge fan of Galadriel. You're so lovely, like and be
Whatever.
my
I think it
queen and
works.
stuff. Like
They're obviously setting them
it's
up to be the
cheap.
main adversaries. Like I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but the whole idea of going to the protagonist, oh, be my queen, and together we will rule this world
Pretty
as
tropey, yeah.
husband and wife. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's terrible. Actually,
But
it's so cheap. And
what's everyone's
it's bad.
Well,
What?
for you, okay. I think it's not. I wouldn't say it's terrible. I think it's definitely a cliche, but I think it worked. Like, as I said, for me, this episode was the first episode I wasn't face palming at anything. Like, there were no holes in. This was one of the most consistent episodes in storytelling, in everything. It felt proper I think at every point. And even though there was cliches in that whole sound reveal and all that, for me personally, obviously, we have here five people, and we will all have different impressions on different things. But for me, I never once, finally, in all 8 episodes so far, this is the first time I never felt at any point that they really took it too far with cliches or tropes or whatever. So for me, it worked.
Yeah, and the queen thing was another callback because you will have a queen in Galadriel in weird mode. But Harry wanted to ask us a question, I think.
Put me in the spot now. I think
I'm sorry.
let me remember what I was going to ask now. I think it was one, yeah, about repentant Sauron. That way to take it. Is that do you guys like that? Because I remember looking people
Yeah.
bringing up the notes of Sauron, of sort of Sauron, of Tolkien in his notes, and he even said for a bit in some of his works that maybe he looked at it as a repentant Sauron, and how he's always trying to heal, this healing thing. Do you think that worked? That's anyone.
Kyle, I
Yeah,
think or
yeah.
Han, you two haven't answered.
I think I love the idea of it. For me, it went a little too. They took Halbrand in a little too much of an Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of direction for me. Like, what did Sauron expect? He was going to live life as a man, like a regular man, while he was repentant. So that was a little too far for me. I love the theme. Like they got the theme right. They got a lot of those things right. It just went a little too far for me. But I overall I get why they did that.
For me, I think I overall liked it, and Sauron in the time of the Lord of the Rings, he's obviously at the deep end, like he's the most evil he ever was, but not everything was evil in the beginning, not even Sauron and so on. So, and there are also like several versions to like whether he was actually repentant at the start of the Second Age or not. So
This
I
is
think it's
obviously the version they went with.
yeah, I think it's okay because they didn't overdo it. Like if they ended the first season with him still being a good guy and so on, that would be a problem. But here we have basically officially in one episode he goes from repentant type of thing, type of a person, to basically in the same scene going like, the dark is going to rule over the world and so on. The dark is going to cover the world. So I think they didn't overdo it. I think they handled this pretty well. Like they showed some motivation, trying to be repentant, trying to find his own way. But obviously, we right away, right from the start, this being the new start, this episode, we can see that, okay, he's going on the tyrant, and I think they didn't overdo it. I think that was kind of more or less pretty well handled.
Yeah, I'm with you. The way they handle this, I had pretty much accepted that Halbrand was going to be Sauron, and to me, it just came down to how they were going to handle this reveal and how how they let it play out. But I was pretty satisfied with how this went, I have to say.
And the line, consider it a gift.
Yeah, I like that they tied that in a little bit.
That was great.
I like that line too.
Hen, are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
What did you think of the repentant Sauron?
The idea of it is nice. There isn't a whole lot of made of it, really. Like, we don't see it or anything. It's sort of talked about. I guess I was much too taken aback by, the Sauron, Galadriel will be my queen thing, to really pay too much attention to Sauron is so like it's,
I
don't
kind of
know.
took that as him playing into her desires, though, to rule.
Yeah,
and,
like temptation.
So
I don't think he was in love or something.
No.
It's more the practical side of it.
Yeah.
But what if he's lying? I also thought about that. Like he could just be lying about being repentant.
I thought of that
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. I think his repentance is on the whole like he's still like he still wants domination. So it's like, what kind of repentance is that? And I think at the end, what we see him is him going to give Adar his comeuppance. That's what we see. So there are things like the episode. It isn't a cliffhanger exactly, but still things left open.
Yeah. So I have a question. Other killing Sauron is official then?
Good question.
No,
They didn't. They didn't touch on that at all.
Sauron does have a tendency of dying and coming back.
Yeah, not
That's
Yeah, I
like
think
something that he does.
yeah,
not that. Yeah.
I think it could be true. Like it does fit with we've been talking about it some weeks ago on the Sunday show. Like he was doing his. I mean, I think it is as it sounds. He was doing his experiments. Adar was there. Orcs were there. At one point, Adar was like, "No, you went too far. Killed him. You know, caught him off guard. You know, on a
Yeah.
one versus one duel, Adar is not going to win. But you know, caught him off guard. And someone
Behind,
killed him. And as I said, I said one of my theories was that he did indeed meet a Halbrand, perhaps those 1,000 years ago, or wherever. Like that last guy could have been a guy that Sauron killed or found dead or something. You know, during some battle or wherever. The timeline is, you know, of course, confused. But I think, yeah, I think that's it is what it is as it sounds. I don't think there's too many secrets left there. Like he either created this body, you know, randomly, or this could be a body of the last person, that last heir that was mentioned, the king of the Southlands, and then he just took the thing with him, the pouch, and I guess he used his body to. Though it's a question, why would he pretend? Actually, that's a good question. So what do you guys think? Why did he pretend? Like
I don't think it matters.
if he took, you know, another body and was looking to go somewhere and, you know, chill and try to find himself again or wherever, why would he have with him the sigil of a dead king of Southlands?
Because the
Like to
plot
give
needed
himself.
him.
Yeah,
Because the
but
plot needed him to. I think
sure, but
there's really nothing beyond that.
there has to be at least some sort of a reasoning behind that. Like maybe to give himself a chance at power if he desires if he wants at some point to come back.
You can read it into that, sure, but yeah, I don't think it invites it particularly. It's just like, you know, Galadriel obviously did some reading on King of the Southlands when she was in Numenor, and you know, it's like all this wouldn't have happened if you read a little further down the book. You know, like it's things are going to happen because the the people who wrote this need them to happen in a certain way, I think.
Yeah, but you don't just randomly get one of the MacGuffins on you. I think. Like there's the question is whether we will see it or not. Again, who knows what else was cut throughout the season, or what was even cut from the script
Yeah, but
itself.
you know,
But
I just think
I think there's probably some reasoning behind that,
yeah, I
and
just
it's
think
going to be
it's very
interesting to see.
easy. It's very easy to sort of do a lot of writing for the people who wrote this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, of
if
course.
you start filling in a lot of backstory that isn't really there and reasons and things, it's like, well, it's like when people were building complex stories around the Mithril thing being bogus. Well, it's not bogus. Just this idea of, oh, the showrunners are better than this, there must be a reason, is can be a trap.
Well, we still haven't had full payoff on that story, so we don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's bogus, but all we know for sure is that this is affecting the trees of Linden. That's all we know 100%.
Yeah,
So
it probably isn't anymore now that they've done the rings, but you know,
could be.
still,
Yeah,
it's
could be.
No, I want to cast us over, card, if we can go to the end part where I think Meteor Man starts to subtly speak the Queen's English.
Mm.
I
yeah.
think that was an interesting part. I think just Nugoni, what was your first thoughts of all this? Even earlier in the episode, when you see Meteor Man fighting off the Mystics, also, do you think when they got killed, that's them becoming ring wraiths or not?
Yeah, that was
I've seen
very
that on
interesting
Twitter.
what happened there.
Yeah, that's by far the oddest decision of the episode. I'm not cleaning it good or
The
bad,
butterfly.
but it's baffling. Like, what is happening? Now that I think about it, what if it's a moth and they are connecting the Gandalf talking to the moth thing?
Yeah, it felt that way a little
And
bit.
yeah, and his power are moth powers. That could be more Gandalf-ish.
Mhm.
But yeah,
That was
weirdest
weird.
scene by far. And if I gonna watch another scene now, it's gonna be that one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say beyond that. I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
Too much.
It's an interesting thing, and they're going to spend the next season together, Noddy and Meat. I kind of like that, the way they've gone with that, and we're going to be seeing Rune. So
Yeah, that's
that's
nice.
something I'm excited for in the next season. Yeah, lots of again set up for the next season, but it's interesting thinking like the one thing we haven't got really finished up on is Numenor, really, which is quite interesting. So I'd like to see. But also, anybody forget about No Isildur in this episode?
Yes,
Right.
that's one
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the things that are left open.
Yeah.
That's one of
Yes.
the things that are left open.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
does anybody have any burning things they want to add about the episode or their thoughts?
yeah. So what do we think? Who is the stranger? Is he for sure? Like, I think
Mm,
it's even more likely now that it's Gandalf.
Yes.
But do we think he could be still
Could.
one of the other people?
I
Could
just
be.
don't
yeah.
get why Gandalf would be going to Rune. I think because we knew the Blue Wizards were there. I feel like maybe the other one's already going to be there. That's what I'm thinking. Like, of course,
I
all the
just
hints
yeah.
on the notes, like with Halbrand, like you have to be a dummy not to see them type thing. So like,
It's the sort of thing where what's the advantage of it being anybody other than Gandalf? Like there's no reason for it to be anybody other than Gandalf, except for us to feel a little better about ourselves with it. You know,
Mm,
like
depends
there's
if you liked or
absolutely
disliked the idea.
yeah. It's him being Gandalf, which he probably is probably the most pandering thing ever in media.
Oh my
Ever.
gosh.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Pen, come on.
No,
Yes.
not even.
No, it's not.
No, no,
No, oh my god.
no.
They're having worse ones, but I have a small theory that I was thinking about now. What if they are doing this because they gotta keep making up plot because we have a need that, so they must make things up. What if the other blue wizard turned bad, and that's why he sent the Sauron people? And
Yeah.
now we are going to have like he's good, and we're going to have the other blue wizard be bad, and they're going to confront or
I
whatever.
like that. I like that idea as well, and I think it could work. But again, Chris says in chat, Saruman. I'm thinking that bit now as well. Actually, he said it did say when it's like it's the Istad. So for some reason, they knew there was going to be. It's like good versus evil, either Sauron or another person. So either Sauron or
Mm.
Gandalf, or Sauron or Saruman. So
Or
yeah,
Radagast.
all right,
Yeah, but there's no reason for it to be Radagast. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of reasons to be Radagast. We discussed this last
The
week.
only reason is that we should feel a little more comfortable with it, but possibly there's no
Yeah, I mean,
like
we do agree that it's the most likely candidate is to be Gandalf, but I think Radagast is far likelier than any other Istar. Actually, first of
mm,
all, I don't think that's gonna be Saruman. I think he's the least likely. The problem with the Blue Wizards is that there's two, and of course also the Rights. So it's either Gandalf or it's Radagast, especially because we also discussed last week. I mean, obviously it was my theory. I don't know how Mike was a bit on. Mike was potentially agreeing with me a bit, and our guest as well. But there was a lot of hints also for him being Radagast. Like the whole nature and healing and all that whole concept. The fact that he was going to Greenwood the Great. Also, as you said, I didn't even know about. I forgot about that. That he was also chanting the same words that Radagast was using in the Hobbit trilogy to heal the
yeah,
rabbit
but
or
that doesn't
whatever.
matter really. But yeah.
I know it doesn't matter, but still, it's like the one bit we had of Radagast ever in
Yeah,
live action was exactly the words that he that Stranger was using. So there's argument to be made. It's Radagast, even though of course it's the most likely by far to be Gandalf.
yeah. I think they are giving characteristics from the wizards that we have seen in the Lord of the Rings movies and giving them to this whatever wizard it is. So like they're taking things from everyone, perhaps, and that's why I don't think it's Radagast. But I also just read the appendix this last few weeks, and we know that Sauron. And I just checked on the wiki, and it says it. Saruman does go to Rune at some point,
Hmm.
so they could do. I don't know. I with this Saruman gone a little bit up in my who could him be.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gun. I don't know where is that from. Is it exactly from the Lord of the Rings or from some other story? But Gandalf says at some point, he says his names, and he says, Tarkon among the dwarves, Incanus in the south, and to the east I do not go. So he
What's in the
does say
south?
that. So that's I think I think he went south, but he didn't go east.
Okay.
I think that I'm not sure. If
Oh, right.
somebody can maybe
It was in Canos in the south, right?
Incanus in the south, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's Saruman is one of the five Istari, but we at least now know he's an Istar. And we've got 2 years to find out which one. Fun, eh? Fun.
No,
The
We have
mystery remains open.
To some
I,
extent, it gives them the leeway of changing, who he is
actually,
in terms
the
of,
answer to the question, fun, isn't it? No and yes.
Yeah.
Carl, could we actually put up a poll maybe and see what people are thinking of this episode?
Yeah,
So
like
we
a
go,
scale of how do you want
oh
to
no,
do it?
as to who they think Meteor Man is.
Oh,
Blue
okay.
Wizard, of course, two Blue Wizards, Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast. So we'll get to that. Interesting. So we've covered
So,
a lot of that part of our story. Do you want to add something?
yeah, who would you guys prefer? Like, if all the
Blue
five
Wizard.
star were on the table, who would you guys prefer
Blue
to
Wizard.
be? Not who you think it's going to be. Who would you prefer it to be?
Blue Wizard, I think.
Orlando.
Also,
yeah, that would be the least
The
cloying, yes.
wizard. Yeah.
Yeah,
also,
I agree.
Mr. The phone yeah, pop up gave super chat, $2 Canadian, thank you. Do you think mystery box criticisms make sense? I personally am. I think they do. I think it's a fair criticism.
Yes.
It's because for me, from the get go, how I would have liked to see in Sauron is not as spot the Sauron as more seeing his gradual rise to power and him being in the back while laying his minions. That's how I would have preferred it. And I do understand there's a lot of stuff mystery boxes, but it seems like it's a bit of the right stuff thought have worked, and we can't right now say whether it's worked or not. We've just finished watching the episode of the finale, so it'll take a couple of days. But I think, for at least for me, it's a fair criticism. What do you guys think?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's a very fair criticism. It's kind of the way in which the season was constructed, and it's either a mystery box or it's a surprise. Like, you thought Halbrand would be an Aragorn, but he's actually Sauron. Pam pam
Yeah.
pam. It's like, cheap.
I have a question about that. Do you think the Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no,
I have
it's
a
Go
question.
ahead.
Do you think that Halbrand being Sauron now elevates the comparisons of Halbrand and Aragorn, or it makes it worse? Like, do you see a parallel, or do you see like another callback?
I see it
Mm,
as callback. I see it as callbacks, not just. I see it as, I think that just because you're playing into a trope, quote unquote, for
Mm,
90% of something, and then at the end do a twist on it, doesn't not make it a trope.
See,
yeah,
thing for me is I never really saw him as the Aragon trope type thing because the only reason people are saying it is because it's Lord of the Rings. I think it's more like a Han Solo type character That's how I really saw him in the first season. So it's an interesting way to how you categorize those different things. But one thing I do want to mention, if Carl, we go to the part where Elendil and Miriel are on the boat together underneath, because we did have a rumor,
Oh, that's
a
nice. I
leak
forgot.
that they do actually there was some hand touching that we got told about. That sounds weird, that happens. And then do you think we're seeing the beginning of a potential romantic link? Because Mildred says who is there for you? Do you
Hmm.
think that's
That's right.
do you
Yeah,
think
I
that's
don't know.
possibly building here? It's hard to suggest at the moment. First
I
of all, what do
hope
you guys
not.
like?
It didn't feel that way to me. It felt more like solidarity.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
That's fair.
but
Most of the
yeah,
scene, yes.
yeah,
Most of the scene didn't feel romantic to me.
no.
Maybe at the end a little bit because somebody calls Elendil to the deck, and I think Muriel is like visibly like a little bit panting or something. But
Mm,
other than that, I saw it more as not as a romantic thing per se.
hmm
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. That's fair. Um, So even with Numenor, who was surprised that we saw all that stuff with Tarpalantir and Iarian? I
Hmm.
think,
Right. Okay, I have a question that because something was messed up with with Amazon with Prime Video. I had to skip a bit. Did we
mm,
see her? Yeah. So the
We did.
one bit I saw with Arian is that she goes to the room with Palantir, right, or whatever, I think. And yeah, and I don't know if anything else happens after that. Is this the last scene we see her?
she's calling for a maid, I think it was. Or did he allow her to go into the chamber? Because
Yes,
didn't
he
she?
opened the chamber.
Yeah. And the
But that's the last
Palantir,
we see her, right?
yeah.
Because I had to
We
skip
don't
a
see
bit there.
her touch the Palantir. No, it's
Yeah. Okay.
like that's sort of like a cliffhanger if you want, sort of. I think what they're doing is like a reversal sort of ish thing, where we've seen Aryan is seemingly tipping towards the side of the Kingsmen, so to speak.
Yeah.
But now, after she sees the Palantir thing, maybe
Hmm. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know.
Ah. Okay.
Um, I
Interesting.
think to speak of some positives though, I think can we go to I think I mean Halbrand's first interaction with Celebrimbor. I think that was one of the more stronger points of the episode for me. I did quite like that part. Strider,
That's
your
yeah.
thoughts? When we
I
first
just
see
muted myself to
yeah,
drink water. No, it's okay. Yeah, I think that was handled very interestingly. Um, I wonder the line that he says that his master or that he served under spoke highly of Celebrimbor. So could it just be? I think there's a lot of questions regarding Sauron's plans. Who wounded him? Was it a fake out? Was his plan really to come to Region and to meet
Mm,
Celebrimbor or not? If so,
well the
how does he know
fact
of him?
the,
Because at this point, like he of course knows about Fëanor, but did he, did Morgoth know about Celebrimbor or not? Or did just Sauron say that, like, did Halbrand or
to
Sauron just say that
interject,
so just to make it like, you know, I don't know, like I had somebody else told me about you. It's not that I was keeping tabs or something like that. So I think that's a good question, but I think it was definitely handled
mm,
pretty well for me. It worked. It worked.
and he got up quite quickly.
Yeah,
He's
I was
injured
medicine.
that they went all the way for. Then a
But
second later, he's, I think that's quite interesting, is all I'd say.
By
so
this episode, I think they will realize. Hmm?
what's his end goal on going to Eregion?
Yeah, that's the question.
Like,
Mhm.
what did he accomplish?
Rings.
Well, he was
Oh wait,
he knew he was missing a
yeah.
part in his plan, so he found now here he found the dark knowledge, the part of dark knowledge that he was missing. Maybe that he needs
What
Mithril,
was
I
that?
guess.
The Mithril?
Yes.
Perhaps. Yeah,
So
could
the
be.
One Ring will have Mithril?
To be
Yeah,
fair,
why not?
yes,
Let's
actually
see.
yes, and we were also told there's a line in the Lord of the Rings that Sauron covets Mithril. So they must have took it from that.
Which is what they
Yeah,
tend to do.
totally.
They take small lines and just run with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, run with them in ways that are, a little bit hokey
Debatable.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah. But in this case, yeah. But I think, yeah, the thing that he was looking for that was missing was presumably that. And it's,
So the 7 and the 9 will be made in Orodruin as well?
I don't know, I'm assuming. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah,
I would
that's a good
assume so.
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not gonna they're not gonna bring him back to Region now, are they? Oh, please
No, no,
come,
no, no, but
please sit
Celebrimbor
on my
and
chaiselong.
they could still
I don't know.
decide to make the rings for other races, so they could
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that they
They
could
could,
resist Sauron or whatever. Like they can still
they
decide to do it on their own.
they could, but if they do that, then you will end up with this funny situation where in Tolkien the three rings were made without Sauron and the 9 and 7
Yeah,
were made with. Whereas if
exactly.
they do what you suggest, the three would have been Sauron's and 8,
No,
and the nine
yeah,
and
but they weren't
seven
made with him.
without. Yeah, but
They
it's
weren't.
inverted.
They weren't made with him. They were made without him. But also, it works if the elves make them, because then he invades Eregion and takes the rings,
Yeah.
takes the 7 and the 9.
Did anyone
Ooh.
catch this where the shadow of the chain is linked to Celebrimbor here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, no,
Pretty
I didn't.
ominous.
Nice little
I
touch.
must say, as
Foreshadowing.
much as the Region visuals are nice, they traffic in either CGI wide shots or fairly small sets, and
That's
it's
been
like
what most of
very
this has been. Like even
Pandemic.
Numenor is that way as well.
much of Numenor is that way as well, but
Yeah.
the Region most of all because the sets are very kind of cavernous a lot of the time and they're
Yeah.
small. Also, including the outdoor ones, the gate, the little hallways that like it looks very pleasing, but
Yeah.
it's also a little bit small. There's not this expanse that you
Hmm.
would
You
want
know,
from an elder city.
for me, I think that the kind of the idea, or my final thought I have right now is, I wish what we got in this last episode in Eregion was the entire season. It's hard to, I
Yeah,
think that is why I
yeah.
think this felt the most second age in that regard. Whether the
Yeah.
chronology and how they've done it is that, but they got Elrond, Galadriel together. It just all, it all,
It's
Mhm.
nice. Yeah.
yeah.
I do
One
wonder if
thing,
there would have been
Season.
more of that had we got the full 10 episodes that they were
and Tom
originally.
Budge stuff as well.
Yeah.
But talking about that, though, removing that, the biggest disappointment for me this season has been Gilgalad. I think,
Oh
again,
yes,
what's he
He's
done
up there
here?
definitely. Yeah,
yes,
I think he's
yes.
actually at probably the biggest.
Yeah,
And it has nothing to do with the
abrasive.
actor, it's the writing
Yeah,
of him.
No, now,
absolutely.
I think it's very easy. We always don't like to say not nice things about actors. Oh, it's the writing, oh, it's the directing. It's yes, but it's also like it's acted in a very grand, self-conscious kind of way that I don't particularly like. You can put
I
I
it to
think
the
I don't
it's
mind that.
written
directing,
that
but
way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
I hope that this leaves room for that character to grow over the 5 seasons. Like I hope we see, the Gil-galad we were all hoping to see, and I think we
Yeah.
will,
In
because
the
we
end,
have to
need-
we have to like him.
Yeah.
We know how his arc ends, so we have to like him.
I think
We
the main problem will absolutely remain the amount of time they need. Like, I think we could have had way more Region. We could have had way more Numenor. Like,
Yeah.
why limit yourself with 5 seasons and 8 episodes? That's
and see,
that's so I cannot
and
make
for
peace
me,
with that.
at the start of the season and at the end of the season, I still have the same thought. I can see this show without having the whole Tihadar plot line. Like, at least having Bronwyn, Aronde, Theo, like, it's hard. I know
or
you have to have the whole
shorter.
Mount Doom, but it's like, Mordred, all that. I just felt like it feels to me that was unnecessary. But all in all, I think that's a side thing. I think we'll get our full thoughts later. But overall, for final episode, overall, I don't think it. Of course, I've taken some liberties with with the timer and how that's worked out with the rings. But I like the suspense. That's what I really liked, and I think, yeah, they didn't do the stuff. I think, as Carl said, I thought would be really bad. I did like the Halbrand, how they had that interaction. I think that really was good. But does anybody want to give their final thoughts before we wrap up?
I have a question. Where do you see season 2 beginning or ending? Do you see like the next step?
As in when it's gonna come out, or
No,
what
no, no.
scene?
As in plot. Like, where do you see it ending? Now that we know the rings
Oh,
are made, do
the
you think
destruction of a
the forging of the One Ring will take a long time?
No, because you know what I think? The showrunners had an interview. They talked about season 2 having a very large 2 episode long battle. You have to assume, you could have assumed that it was one of the earlier skirmishes of the War of the Elves and Sauron,
Yeah.
but it has to be the sack of Eregion. Has to
Yes.
be
Yeah,
now.
I agree.
that makes a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
more sense.
I
sense.
Yeah.
think
That's a good
I
one.
think the thought process would have been, we need to put more emphasis on the events that are later on, if for no other reason, because those events are much more, people know them more from the prologue to Fellowship of the Ring. People know the Last Alliance
Yep.
more, and they're looking for the Fall of Numenor more, which, is to me a little bit lamentable, because I think the events that are earlier on, the events with Eregion and stuff, could have been this great Faustian drama, and it's kind of not that at all, actually.
I think it can still be good. But to answer the question, I think, yeah, like we will see the sack of Eregion and the Sauron establishing himself in Mordor, and maybe this is where we see Pharazôn bring the great fleet over, and I think that's where we'll go.
Also, what is that with the black sails? Do you want to skip to that, Carl,
Palantir
quickly?
died.
They're dying.
Oh, wow, I didn't
Haven't
even
you
know.
read a version of the Tristan romance, or
Yeah, haven't you read that?
The
or
Theseus myth.
Theseus? Yeah, like sales
You should
means
pull it
death.
up right now. Pull it up right now.
Yeah,
We'll read it.
the
We'll have
thesis, whatever that is. Yeah,
I can find. Let me find.
By the
I thought
way,
that was Pharazôn sales.
Where was
perhaps
that?
we haven't seen much of Eregion because they are planning on doing the sacking, so they haven't laid out everything to film it well, perhaps.
Could be.
Could
So,
be,
like,
but
let's be
also
ambiguous about how it looks. So,
yeah, but also again, no time. We like, I can't wait to rewatch the show, especially now that I know that I loved the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, this is by far easily my favorite episode.
I'm with you.
It's my
But
least favorite.
well, there we go. That's why there's a lot of us here, so we can have different opinions.
Yeah,
But still, I'm going to continue forever be pissed with the fact that we just keep jumping from things to things, and there's character moments missing for certain people. I think the first thing that comes to mind is when Earian is chasing around after Pharazôn. She's not even saying Chancellor Pharazôn, she's just saying Pharazôn, and we know that there was this huge dinner scene that was cut out. There's so many stuff missing, and I think it would have made all the characters better, and even maybe the Southlands plot that was probably the most convoluted one, the word of the season. I think it could have benefited way more. Like, I think we could have gotten a scene of Bronwyn during the battle actually healing someone, or something like that. Like, there's so many places they could have had small character moments, but that's why we didn't get Eregion. That's why we didn't get, more Linden or more of other places or other characters, because it's just no time. There's not enough time.
But maybe that's what season 2, hopefully. Maybe they'll learn from this stuff and know what we do like and what we thought. And maybe season 2 will get.
Yeah, hopefully.
Season 2 will have begun filming, though, so they can change things for the later episodes because they film them one by one. But it's.
I mean, maybe
that they have.
Yeah, maybe make it. Maybe they can just not cut stuff. Maybe they can just give us 10 because I'm sure they're going to have material for 10
Longer
episodes.
You know,
Yeah, or just give us longer episodes. Like
yeah.
there's obviously that they cut the scenes, so maybe there's room to extend at least some of them, as you said, like the second half of the season. Maybe
I,
extend it a bit more or something like that.
I had, yeah, but at the same time, they seem to be. I don't know. Is there like an Amazon like policy around episodes being like around the 1 hour mark? Because they've stuck to it pretty religiously, actually. Like all the episodes are within 4 minutes, give or take, of the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
So they're playing by the book in that regard, and I don't see that necessarily changing very much.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they do have the form. We mentioned this. Like all the hit shows of Amazon have 8 episodes per season, and they
All
have their
shows in
own
general
like
now.
what?
I said most shows in general now, minus House of the Dragon, are going for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I noticed that specifically with Amazon Prime. I think other shows diverge around number 10, like a bit more than 10, or from 8 to 12, 13. I think that's the range. 10 being the average. So yeah, they have that form, but hopefully they will change it because the show would have benefited so much from that. It just didn't have the chance to breathe until episode 6, or episode 5 maybe. That's when we finally got some sense of like I don't know, well, just the show breathing, like the story, the characters having a bit more time to show them then, which is like already halfway through the season, which is a shame.
Yeah, the main
But-
thing is that we notice how there's stuff missing. Like, why is Kemen and Aryan part of the main cast if they only appear in a couple of scenes in the end?
Yeah,
Like,
Balrog
probably
took so
have
much more time than them.
But
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I think, Carl, can we now skip to that last scene of Halbrand in Mordor? That very last shot.
Daft
So-
Hellbrand.
Also, the song at the end,
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
that was a nice
So-
surprise.
I guess, well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was season 1 of The Lord of the Rings of Power. And this is the final shots. Halbrand is indeed Sauron in his hooded and robed figure, which I'm really happy we got correct.
Yes,
Yep, that shot there. So we're seeing Mount
That's-
Doom. We're going to be
that's a
seeing
wallpaper.
that is a wallpaper, and I think whether the show's good or bad, they are going to go on for number seasons of probably 5. So we've got this is only the beginning. We'll probably, Strider might probably have hair by the end of this. Hen
No,
maybe.
I'm gonna be completely bald by the end of this, but yeah, okay.
Fair enough. And Carl probably
I'll be
have
more
a
aerodynamic.
longer beard than he already does.
Yeah.
But I think thank everybody in chat. We have gone on for I think nearly 2 hours 40 minutes now. So we've got 2 years now, so we've got lots of time. Not just tonight to discuss this episode, go over stuff, what we liked, what we
Yes,
did
we
not
should
like.
do retrospectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it
But
sit.
what was the poll? What does the poll say?
For what was the poll on? Gandalf. 64% say Gandalf. I think that is fair after the episode to think that. But I want to thank everybody for coming in for this time as well. Appreciate everybody's thoughts and opinions on the panel today. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who was here with us and to you people who woke up or stayed late and so on.
Especially the
fun.
troopers during the episode as well. So we'll get back to you guys the next day, more content over what we thought of the season, how it's going to happen, what will be predictions potentially for season 2 as well. So thank you everyone in chat. It was quite an intense episode. The thing I'm happy about, at least, stuff was happening. So I did enjoy that part.
Yes.
But thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, goodbye.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.